Welcome to day 2 of our yoga practice. Here at the beginning of class, as always, we're going to begin in meditation. Spending some time before we begin our flow, connecting the body into the breath in a relaxed position. So you can find any comfortable pose. Maybe you're crisscross applesauce. Maybe you're seated on your shins. And begin to come back into yourself by closing the eyes and taking your hands to rest on your upper thighs, either palms facing up in a position of openness or palms facing down in a position of groundedness, whichever you need more of today. We're going to begin by just bringing our attention to how we're feeling today. That can be emotionally, it can be physically. But taking a little body and brain scan that says, what's going on? Where is there tension? Where is there peace? What's the overarching theme that comes to mind when we take a look at ourselves in these moments? As you land into yourself, we're going to begin to deepen the breath, sealing the lips and taking some long, slow inhales in through the nose, down into the low belly, inflating it like a balloon. Holding at the top, and then releasing with a slow, intentional exhale. Back out through the nose, keeping a little constriction through the back of the throat. I want you to take that breath as slow as you possibly can, as deep as you possibly can. Every little micro muscle movement in that throat, in that belly, in that diaphragm, in the chest is meaningful. A chance to feel into ourselves and to explore the concept of invitation and release. The breath, the Ujjayi breath, ocean breath, serves a few purposes during our practice. One being that it actually resets our nervous system, stimulating the vagus nerve that runs down our spine. Especially in that exhale, we let the body know we're safe. We can be free of the stress response. We're not running from a lion. We're not up against a to-do. If we're present in this moment, we can turn off that mechanism, using the breath, using the exhale in particular to say, we're okay as we are, where we are. The breath also offers an anchor point for our practice, where we engage the mind in full 5 sensory presence. I am where I am, how I am, experiencing that I am. And in that space, we actually flex and exercise the frontal area of our brain that's responsible for more innovation, creativity, problem solving, and working in tandem with the emotional brain, that lower limbic system, to enhance our productivity, our relationships, and our values alignment. With your next inhale, I want you to invite your arms out to your sides, palms facing up. And then lift them up overhead, taking the palms together and then drawing them down together to heart center. Bow the chin into the chest. And take this moment to set an intention for how you would like to feel through the flow, by the end of the flow, or through the day. What feeling do you seek? What word lands, lights up your heart? As you inhale, pull that feeling all the way down through the midline of the body. Lift the hands up over your head. And exhale, roll the wrists all the way down to your sides. We're going to roll up over the knees here, coming into a quadruped position. Wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, and we're going to find some fluidity through the spine. Move in a way that feels good. Move in a way that celebrates your body. This is your opportunity for individual expression. It's not about looking a certain way or mastering a certain pose. It's about listening to the body and giving it a little bit about what it's asking for. It comes in so many forms. When you're ready, invite in stillness. Spread your fingertips wide. Press into your pointer finger, middle finger, thumb. Lift your heart out towards the front of the mat. We're going to curl the toes in here. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And then lift the knees up off the mat and shift the heart towards the upper thighs for your first downward facing dog of class. You can begin to pedal out the feet, staying nice and strong through the upper body, but finding a little bit of mobility and warmth in the legs. Go slow, go intentional, feel the deliciousness of each stretch. If you want to invite in a little twist through the hips here, maybe that feels good for you. And then find stillness. We lift the tailbone up towards the sky as we keep that little micro bend through the knees and press our heart even farther towards the upper thighs. And once we're there, release the heels closer to the ground. It's not about straightening those legs. We want to keep that micro bend. It connects to the back. It protects the back. But it's about finding that utmost length as we lift the tailbone towards the sky and release the heels to the earth. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, walk the hands back to the feet and release the heart onto the upper thighs. Forward fold. Breathe in. As you inhale this next time, go ahead and lift the fingertips to the shins as the heart reaches out in front of you. Big stretch to the back of the body. And then exhale, forward fold. Release that belly, head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, circle sweep, leading with the heart all the way up. And exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale the hands up above. And exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands to plank. Release the shins to the earth, legs together, heart aligned forward, and the pelvis tilts down, almost like you're squeezing your glutes, to find a nice long line from the top of your head to the base of your knees. Take a deep inhale in. And as you exhale, keep the elbows tight into the body, releasing the heart all the way down, and then release each leg. Relax. As you inhale, use your core, use your back to gently peel the heart away from the mat. Hover the hands. And then exhale. Release. Shift your weight back, flip your toes, send your tailbone up, and then walk your feet in to adjust your downward facing dog. Remember, we lift the tailbone, we drop the heels, we press the heart towards the upper thighs. On our next inhale, go ahead and lift your right toes into the air, and then go ahead and drop your heel to the opposite glute. We're going to take a couple of ankle circles clockwise, and then switch directions. Opening up, and then go ahead and pull that foot between the hands into a low lunge. Deep breath in, and then we're going to press that back leg back forward. Legs come together and release into a forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and step back to plank, and then move into your downward facing dog once more. Left toes lift this time, pointing the toe, staying strong in the front of the body, and then release the heel to the opposite glute. Invite in those ankle circles, and then switch directions. And then as you're ready, pull that knee forward and step into your low lunge. Deep breath here. And then exhale, step the feet together, release into a forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold and plant the hands, stepping back to plank and then move into downward facing dog. Stop here for a moment. Adjust your form, inching your tailbone towards the sky, releasing your heels, yielding to gravity. Feel your heart beat in your chest. Feel the energy flow through your body. This is your life force. Awake, alive. Celebrate it for a moment. On your next inhale, lift the right toes up overhead. And exhale, go ahead and bring that foot between the hands into low lunge, releasing the left shin down. If you need a block or 2 blocks for height, that's okay. You can have them on either side to help you stay in position a little bit better. As we inhale, we're going to press our torso up, squeezing the glutes, both of them. And we're going to make sure that we take that left hip and we pull it forward as we pull the right hip back. Beautiful alignment here. As you exhale, take your hands down to your heart and sink into this hip flexor a little bit more. You should feel a lengthening, a big stretch through the front of that body. Breathe. Relax into the pose. We're not compromising the integrity of our low back by keeping our glutes squeezed in. We're making sure we're keeping those hips squared to the front of the room, but we're finding that nice, beautiful length through the front of the leg. Inhale, lift the hands, and then exhale, we're going to take them back down in spider web position, and then crawl back to stretch through the back of that hamstring. Flex the right toes. The heart is aimed at the big toe here. You can sink it a little farther back if that feels good for you. We're not pushing, we're not bouncing. We're allowing gravity to do 80% of this work. Couple breaths. And then slowly walk your hands forward. Hands to frame the foot. Flip the left toes into the earth, then lift into a full low lunge. Plant the left hand on the inside of the right thigh and open up, breathing into the back. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. Step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left toe reaches up towards the sky. And exhale, go ahead and pull that through between the hands, low lunge. Dropping now the right shin down. Align the knee right over that second toe. And again, it's okay to have your blocks here if you need them. But we're going to inhale, rise to lift the torso straight. You should feel a stretch on the front of that hip flexor here. Squeezing the glutes and making sure that you're pulling back the left hip and gently pulling forward the right hip. You can sink farther in through that pelvis, continuing to squeeze the glutes to find a deeper stretch on the front of that hip flexor. Take the hands together, exhale, pull them down to the heart. Send your breath into the hips. Where we stay so tight, where we need some extra love, where we store a lot of trauma and energy. Send your breath to the tension. Inhale, lift the hands. Exhale, we spider web them down as we walk our hands back and our toe up. Heart aims at that big toe. And then as we allow gravity to do its work, we start to sink down a bit. Sending the stretch to the back of that left leg. When it comes to releasing the hips and the back, we're actually working with a lot of different releases at once. And being able to breathe into our hamstrings, our quads, our IT bands, our low bellies, psoas, all of these things is actually going to promote that release, not just stretching the hip itself. Slowly walk your hands forward, taking that knee aligned over the second toe. Take your hands to frame the foot, lift up through that back leg nice and strong, and then we're going to open into a twist. Stack your shoulders, breathe into the back. Remember, it's okay to have blocks available, 1 or 2, if you're struggling to get into any one pose. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot, and step back into downward facing dog. Feel the release. Inhale, we're going to lift up that right toe. And exhale, we're going to pull the knee forward between the hands, releasing the left foot. This is pigeon pose. Now it's important that we're not rolling open. We're keeping the hips completely squared into the mat. If this is not a big challenge for you, you're going to want to adjust your foot up a little bit. So we're trying to square the hips and get that stretch on the outside of the hip flexor. Once you're in position, You can slowly sink down into the pose and allow gravity to pull you down using the breath. Make your breaths long, intentional, and practice body awareness, taking your attention into the tension, if you will. Use your breath to invite in focus, and your exhale to invite in relaxation and release. Slowly begin to lift the torso, taking the hands to frame that knee, flipping the left toes into the mat and stepping back into downward facing dog. Maybe you want to pedal out the feet here. And then go ahead and take a pause, pressing the heart towards the upper thighs as we move to the other side. Inhale, we lift the left toes up, single leg dog. And exhale, we pull that knee through between the hands, releasing the right leg and the right foot down. Square the hips into the mat. We're not rolling open. Adjust the foot as you need to. And we're going to stay here for a bit, stretching the outside hip flexor on the left side and allowing gravity to slowly work us deeper into the pose. There's no rush here. Your breath is doing a lot of the work, taking you deeper into the pose. Sink into your body and your breath. Take one last deep inhale in. Exhale. Relax. And as you feel ready and led, take your hands to frame that knee. Once again, lifting the torso, flipping the right toes into the mat and stepping back into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. And then one at a time, take your knees to the wide edges of your mat and your big toes together, sinking the tailbone onto the heels as you reach the fingertips out in front of you. Allow your forehead to fully relax, child's pose. Send your breath into your hips, send your breath into your back. Fully relax the body. Maybe you even give a little rock with your forehead against the mat side to side. Any tension of the face dissipates. Relax your belly. One more deep inhale in. Exhale, relax. And then slowly walk your hands back, lifting through the torso, taking the knees together and rolling onto the back. We're going to be using our straps for this next set, so go ahead and grab that. If you need one, they're up here at the front. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Taking the strap and unrolling. If you're at home, you can use a towel for this. And keeping our heels about 6 inches or so away from our glutes, we're going to pull the left knee in and hook the strap right on the arch of the foot. You can roll the strap in your hands, but we're going to lift that foot towards the sky, keeping a little micro bend in the knee. Pulling in very, very gently closer into the body. We're not going to pull hard on this. We're not going to hurt our hamstrings. We're going to allow the foot to relax into the strap as we explore how to pull it closer into the body as we relax. It's normal to feel a little bit of shaking. In your mind's eye, you might even repeat the word release over and over again. Breathe deep into your low belly. Connect into sensation. Connect into your intention. Taking both straps in your left hand, I want you to bend slightly through the knee as you allow your thigh to open to the side. You might want to switch it to your other hand or use both, either is fine. But I want you to spend some time opening into that inner thigh here. Trying to keep both sit bones or hip bones grounded to the mat. And allow relaxation to open up those inner thighs. Slowly, we pull the foot back to center, and then we release. Maybe you take that ankle and you place it right on the top of that right knee, picking both feet up off the ground and stretching into this figure 4. So our hands grab through the legs and onto that shin. We get a little release on the outside of that thigh. And then you go ahead and set it down. Both feet come connected to the mat. And this time we're going to go ahead and switch it over to the right foot, taking that strap to wrap around the arch of the foot. Little micro bend in the knee. Allow the foot to relax as you allow gravity and breath to deepen the stretch. Take both straps in your right hand, bending through that knee and allowing the foot to open up to the side. Again, it's okay to take the strap to your opposite hand if and when that feels good. But you're going to find that open stretch for the inside of that right thigh. Keeping your shoulder blades connected with the mat out of your shoulders. Keeping your hips connected. Send your breath to your inner thigh. And slowly, we take that foot back up to the sky. And then as we exhale, we remove the strap, set it aside, and cross that ankle right above the left knee. Pick both feet up off the floor, take the hands through the legs and onto the left shin. Flexing that right foot, pressing the right knee out and down. And then release the belly. As you pull the legs into the body, you should feel a big stretch on the outside of the hip, on the glute. Release the legs down, uncross, and go ahead and this time take your knees into the body, give a little hug and roll around side to side or maybe in tiny circles to massage that low back. If there's any specific stretch calling out to you right now, feel free to move into it. That's a-okay. Listen to your body, what it's asking for. And as you feel ready and led, I'm going to give you two options for our final Shavasana. You can either take your feet all the way to the wide corners of your mat, as we normally do, or you can take the feet together about 6 inches away from the body and allow the knees to splay out to either side in a butterfly stretch. Either way, you can either take your hands, one to the heart, one to the belly, or allow them to lay right at your sides, palms facing up towards the sky, walking the shoulders away from the ears as much as possible. Take the next few moments of class to become fully present with your breath and body. Connecting back in with that feeling you wanted to hold from the start of class. Imagining what that feeling looks like in the top corner of your chest, your heart. Allowing it to spread down and up and around through every cell. Relax your body and let the intention flow. Take one last deep inhale in through your nose, all the way down into the cavern of your belly. And as you feel ready and led, one last deep, full exhale out through the nose or mouth. Let it all go. As you begin to awaken your body, move in a way that feels good for you. Maybe you release the legs a bit more. Maybe you take your hands above your head and your big toes together for one big, long, lengthening stretch. Maybe you just give a little wiggle to those extremities. No matter what you do, stay true to you. I appreciate you for showing up today. Not for me, but for yourself. It's been beautiful to watch you move and flow today and to lead you in this practice. We'll be back next week, and I look forward to designing some more flows for you. So if there's anything in particular you need help with, please go ahead and drop me a line. Otherwise, I'll leave you with this. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.